Okay, so Occultosofia on Internet Archives, member since 2012 under the nickname Wutsi Pastir, the Shepherd of Wolves, 777, the Saturnian proper. So I would like to invite you to this archive whereupon I build up a catalog of all my written works. I will start uploading the better lectures in self-censorship and restriction and rigor in selecting them. So what you may find here, these are all the lectures that I uttered so far in the Polish language, automatic translation. These are the indexed notatki z wiecznej migracji, the books I wrote between 2013 and 2021. There was no artificial intelligence back then. So yeah, this is the anthology, Psionic Warfare, that is discussing the finer points of PsyWar, psychological operations, and so on. Treatise on the Dead, so a bit of Necromanteon. On Volition, another treatise that is treating the willpower or well. What else? The Restitution of Wonders. So we have the Well, people play people's games, right? People's are people. So on Restitution of Wonders, this is another treatise, short form. This is a comparative of the theological systems and hierarchies from Plato's Orphic, Chaldean, Iamblichean, Proclusian to Pseudo-Dionysian, as it is nowadays known in the Judeo-Christian theology. I compare the ancient systems, which were much more sophisticated, complex, and grounded in reason and intellect, on cosmic clocks and the cycles of eons, the clockwork angels, let's call it, Hinks und Dracontes, another treatise. This is a little comic book generated later with artificial intelligence. Nothing interesting here. Romantic treatise, short treatise on carnality, which is belonging to the Occultosofia Corpora. That's an enlightenment pearl of a Jacobine writer from the 19th century, beginning of 19th century, translated from original Enlightenment Polish text rendered into English. On the origin of demons and the Grammatic treatise. You may also find it on academia.com. Some poetry, beastly lyrics, fairy tales for the insane, collection of short stories from the Occultosofia Corpore. Freaking out, I'd rather not admit that I wrote this. Methods and Theories of Magic is belonging to Occultosofia Corpore, and it is for the beginner to mid practitioners of magic. A tool set. Little Wing or Małe Skrzydło, it's a commentary to the I Ching in the Polish language. Occultosofia, my finest work that I had to write it for 10 years, from 2013 till 2023. Now it is completed and I let it be. In the onset of artificial intelligence business, I'm no longer writing books because what the hell for? I mean, I gave up as an author. The rest of you probably pursues this path and go anyway. Neo-Hermetic technique for making planetary sigils based on Renaissance cryptography and planisphere of one Egyptian priest, all together with descriptions of the vowelization as in PGM, for example, or Coptic magic manuals. Venn diagram, that's okay. Now these are the notes from the Great Migration or Notatki z wiecznej migracji in 3 volumes, Jupiterian, Saturnian and Solar in Polish. Some of it overlaps with Occultosofia, but Occultosofia is a more extensive edition of these notes. This is a Polish rendering of a lecture I once provided about Leovirides or the Green Lion in alchemy, the origins and the Neoplatonic view on it. The mysteries of the planets, that's the idea about the planetary spheres and intelligences inhabiting it. This is a description of the ante-phenomenal primordial universe as conveyed by my ex-partner and the priestess, 1377. also called the Great Hall. However, I decided to render it in more, let's say, succinct fashion and elucidate it further. The astrobiological hypothesis in unitary stellar magnetospheres, or how planetary spheres and ancient primordial gods, well, let's call them gods, co-evolved and participated astralistically in the co-evolution of life on Earth. That was in the Bauplan. You may find this edition of Bucratis or Picatrix from the Krakow edition. Modern Lunosoviet sketchbook mapping the resonances between the biomagnetics and the runar, again runar, a far-fetched idea, but it works for me, so why not? Some fragments from the Saturnalia by Macrobius, Corpore in Polish that I translated. Little Wing Saturn, modern notes on the etching, that's the same thing as is in the Little Wing I mentioned before. The ephemerides that I conjured for Sol Invictus or Iron Sun and Sol Niger Schwarze Sonne between 2019 2029. Calculated properly using the SETI project. This is the Divine Equations fragment from Griffith John Gwynn. Mitrek sitemap extracted from the library of Czesław Miłosz. He had the German edition of Franz Kumon's work. This is the first edition of Enuma Elish, or the Babylonian creation story in Polish. That was managed to scan, that I scanned in the National Library of Poland. And the graphic edition of Kitab al-Asnam by Hisham ibn al-Kalki. It is dealing with pre-Muslim gods and goddesses of the Arabs. And I mainly worked on the graphical edition in order to preserve it. It was conjured or preserved and translated into English by a great Palestinian historiographer. So I mainly worked on the graphical part, so it won't be lost. So I leave the link to all these goodies below, and I hope you may enjoy it. Oh, by the way, there is also a game called Sacred Chaos, a free game of Magic and Hermetica. Full cards that you can print out and you can play and explore the symbols within it. And a very nasty piece of, I'm not very proud of myself, Toxicity, a game of love, exploring the modern, let's say, newspeak bullshit about relationships and male-female warfare. I decided to take this thread and expand on it. Thank you.